What's up everyone, my name's Adam Meadows. Today I'm going to show you how to do a safety vault. First we're going to crouch down, then we're going to put one hand onto the side of us. We're going to put the opposite foot on the other side. Then we're going to bring that bottom leg forward and hold it for a little bit, and then bring it back. And then we're just going to be able to scoop this leg in between that gap back and forth. So we're starting this on the ground because this also helps us build that muscle memory and build the little bit of strength you need. You need to be able to get your hips that high into the air, and it's going to help you so much more to be able to have a nice clean pathway for your bottom foot to swing through and get to the ground. Another thing that's important when you're doing these on the ground is make sure your hand and foot are in the same line when you go through it. And just make sure you're able to swing that leg all the way through. You're going to start pushing your hips forward a little bit as you go, and that'll help you clear the rest of the block. This is also a good way to help get your wrist, ankles, and hips all warmed up. So I usually do this move on whatever obstacle I'm using or on the ground. Just make sure my body's ready for this movement. Next, we're going to take this to a low obstacle you could climb over like this. This is up to my knee height, so you don't want to go anything too high yet, but if you don't have anything else, and if you only have like a park bench, then of course you could use that, but we're going to take things slow. We're going to put one hand down onto the obstacle, put the opposite foot on top, and then really push up and raise those hips out of the way to swing that bottom leg all the way through to the ground. If you don't have a long obstacle like this, then make sure that you're still putting your hand and feet on far opposite ends as you can to give you enough space to swing that bottom leg all the way through. If you don't have enough space for your leg to swing through, then you're gonna either kick your leg or it's gonna want to raise up to get out of the way. So make sure that your hand and opposite foot are as far as you can get them on the block while you're still comfortable. You definitely don't want to be too close together because then you're just going to be crunching in and it's not going to be very efficient and you can't get back to the ground as fast as you can. Once you start getting more comfortable with that, still practicing I'm standing, then you're going to start getting a little bit of momentum into it. So you're going to take a couple steps and then put your hand and foot in the same spot you've been putting them and swing that leg through. Now that you feel comfortable on the low obstacle with speed, we can start moving it to things a little bit bigger. Here I'm doing it over a picnic bench, which I have to jump more and make sure my hips are way more sideways. This is a horizontal move, so you want to try and get as horizontal as you can, but also not landing too hard on your hand and wrist and feet while you're jumping onto the obstacle. So don't jump too high at first, but we want to start just coming down onto it gently and pushing off at the end. And now to finish getting completely over the obstacle, you're going to want to push off with your hand and your foot. You don't want to leave them behind for too long, and you definitely don't want to leave either one hand or one foot behind as you're getting over the obstacle. So you want to make sure that once that leg is all the way through and getting to the ground, you're going to push off with your hand and foot at the same time to really push the rest of your body out of the way and give you speed out of the vault. Another thing that's really important to keep an eye on is your run up and how you're jumping into the obstacle now. You don't want to jump off of 2 feet off of it because then it's not going to get you into the right position. It's best to start off on 1 foot and push off and really drive your other knee up and over. That helps you raise your hips up so you're in the right spot and you're in the right shape as you're already in the air getting to the obstacle. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you learned and got a lot out of this tutorial. It's my first one, so I'm always looking for tips and ways to make it better or smoother. I am going to do another video going more in depth on some of the more advanced ways you could do it or some other mistakes that could happen while you're doing these. So make sure that you're training this safe at your own progression, and I appreciate you watching this video. Stay tuned for the next one. I have a lot of them already filmed and in the books, so I'm just going to be releasing them as we go. You guys have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you later. Peace.